Not all drones fly in the air. The Crover is the only device in the world able to swim below the ground through solid granular particles. And we're using it to enable grain storage operators like farmers, grain merchants, and ports to manage their grain stocks like never before, and to do so safely. In fact, as humans, we can make rocket ships reach into space and build vessels that can reach miles below the ocean. Yet, apart from our work at Crover, all attempts by other teams at developing a device that could burrow its way through sand and other granular environments have been unable to achieve full range of motion. The breakthrough came when, during my PhD at the University of Edinburgh, I discovered a novel physical effect which represents the first feasible method for locomotion through granular materials like sand or grains, what we call the Crover effect. Using that technology, our team was able to develop what was, and still is, the first and only device in the world able to move itself in every direction through granular materials, what we call a Crover robot. Having solved the challenge of subterranean granular locomotion, we also developed the Crover mothership, which breaks yet another big barrier, that of being able to carry heavy payloads on steep, unstable granular slopes, and to do so in a fast and stable manner. Something also which no other device, whether at an industrial or at a research level, has been able to achieve. And so I present to you the Crover Grain Storage Management System. This includes a module for measuring grain conditions, which senses parameters like temperature, moisture, and CO2, as well as a module for collecting grain samples from deep within the bulk. The movement of the Crover robot also helps steering and maintaining the quality of the grain stock. The data collected by the Crover robot is then sent wirelessly to our companion web app, from which grain storage operators receive a notification if grain conditions exceed a safe threshold, and they can visualize 3D and 2D maps of conditions, which enable them to identify hotspots, wet spots, and plan the best course of action. For grain storage operators like farmers, grain merchants, and cooperatives, the Crover system means, one, improved health and safety, by no longer requiring people to walk on grain bulks to collect samples or measurements, which is very dangerous to do and can lead to death through entrapment. Two, it overcomes the limitations of static sensors, which are usually unable to detect gradients of conditions between each sensor and are usually unable to detect infestation and other issues until it is too late. This results in an improved grain supply chain, where grain storage currently represents the single phase with the highest post-harvest losses before consumption. And so our mission at Crover is to make sure that at least 80% more grain where our system is used reaches the end of the supply chain with the same or better quality. This mission is being led by our team of 13 full-time professionals who represent 11 different nationalities with expertise ranging from robotics and automation to grain storage and certification for dust explosive atmospheres. And while we started in Scotland, the grain storage capacity in North America is almost double that of the entirety of Europe, which is why we decided to leverage the support from Genius New York and Grow New York to set up new manufacturing operations here in central New York because of the local world-class manufacturing capabilities, expertise in scaling hardware-based unmanned systems, and local grain storage operators who are used to adopting and paying for new technologies. And we're currently recruiting for new local roles in manufacturing and finance, so tell your friends. And so the underground barrier is broken and the journey has begun. If you're a grain storage operator or manage other types of bulk solids and powders, you can reach out to us to find out more about how the Crover system can improve your bulk handling and storage operations. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite on stage for Q&A Sarah Osberg, our Director of Partnerships.
Hello, everyone.
All right, thanks, Lorenzo. So I'm trying to connect your proprietary digging technology you came up with the product you showed us on top of the grain probing down. So my question is, what product are you specifically taking to market with this investment, and does it contain that proprietary IP that's setting you apart?
So the main industrial product contains a variety of proprietary IP. It contains both some elements of our kind of proprietary method of locomotion, but also some extra IP that enables, like I was saying earlier, to kind of carry heavy payloads on like granular grain and other kind of granular materials that usually take a repose angle. It's not usually flat, and so being able to carry big payloads like our sampling module on those slopes is kind of one of our core IPs.
So quickly, how does the swimming under the surface technology connect to the product?
Yeah, so there's elements like the fact that our kind of core method of locomotion and the Crover effect enables the robot to like kind of not sink, for instance, if it gets buried, and can always, like the mothership can always stay on the surface, and also to be able to kind of like go below the ground without too much drag forces.
I have a two-part question. The first one is, could you please describe to us in a short number of words who your ideal customer is?
Our primary customers at the moment are grain storage operators who store for 3 months or longer during the year, and that have a storage capacity of 600,000 bushels or more. So those are usually centralized storage facilities like grain merchants, cooperatives, and ports.
So if you had 30 seconds to give an elevator pitch to your ideal customer, what would it be?
We help grain storage operators maintain the quality of their stock safely using the world's first robo able to swim through both solids and powders.
Could you talk a little bit about why Central New York is an ideal location to start or to grow this business, and then walk us through again relative to who will be here, who you're planning to hire, and what the growth plans are?
Yeah, I'll take the first part. Okay. So, like, while we started in Scotland, that's a relatively small market and the kind of wider UK and European market as well. So we always knew that we kind of had to find a way eventually into the US market. I think the fact of like that Syracuse is kind of on the East Coast, it makes it easier also to kind of work with our UK team. There's also only like a 4 or 5 hours difference depending on the time of the year. We were looking for kind of a place where we could scale up our manufacturing, kind of set up like new manufacturing facilities so that we're not kind of bound to outsourcing manufacturing to China and other places. And we found, thanks to Genius, we've been connected to fantastic organizations like Think Variant, and so we're looking more into, both setting up some assembly at the Center of Excellence from Cornell University that we're working kind of closely with, but also we are investigating opportunities to work with local businesses that can provide both good cost but also good quality for the parts that we need.
Yeah, and just to add, this is the perfect location, working with local colleges, universities, getting those interns involved as well. So right now we're hiring for a manufacturing manager, technicians, and we're looking to build the sales team as well. I'm actually from Central New York, so I'm here already. And shout out to our Cornell friends that are here for us today. Again, this is just the perfect location to build that up.
Could you just expound on your sales and marketing strategies? So you're talking about hiring salespeople. So what would be some actionable goals you'd want to achieve with your sales team in the next 12 months?
Yeah, so our goal is to sell 18 robots and really build up that partnership as well. I spoke yesterday about those partnerships that we've had with the USDA. We've also made really good traction with NASA, for example. So building those partnerships, building out that sales team, and getting that education out there, right? Because Our innovative idea, this is the first ever to come out. Farmers have never heard of us before. Nobody's heard of us before, right? So building out that education, getting people excited about what we're doing, we're saving lives. It's super exciting. So that's really part of our marketing strategy.
I would also add that, Sarah herself is a demonstration of our efforts to kind of grow our sales team in the area, because she's our kind of first local team member, and she's leading our US sales and business development.
Thank you so much.